Hi everyone, it's Rahul. So today we are going to discuss what is Kubernetes cluster upgrade and what are the steps involved in Kubernetes cluster upgrade. And we will discuss all of them in detail along with labs as well. So now let's first answer what is Kubernetes cluster upgrade. So in Kubernetes cluster upgrade involves the updation of Kubernetes software which is running on all the nodes in the cluster. It means that in Kubernetes cluster upgrade we need to do the upgrade of Kubernetes component like as kubectl, kubelet, kubeadm and other Kubernetes master, or we can say that control plane component like as kube API server, kubelet, kubescheduler, which are running on the node in the clusters. With the help of cluster upgrade, it ensures that our cluster will get benefited from the latest features which is being provided by the Kubernetes with bug fixes and the security patches which is being officially published by the Kubernetes. Now let's discuss what are the steps involved in Kubernetes cluster upgrade in detail along with me, and after that we will do hands-on lab as well to upgrade our Kubernetes cluster which I have set up from the scratch with the help of Kubeadm from version 1.30.0 to version 1.30.1. Kubernetes cluster upgrade in hands-on lab, we are going to upgrade our Kubernetes cluster which we have set up with the help of Kubeadm from version 1.30 to version 1.30.1. Now let's discuss what are the steps involved in cluster upgrade activity with the help of Kubeadm. The first step which we have to follow, that is backup of your data. Before we start the upgrade process of our Kubernetes cluster, we need to take the backup of your critical applications, configurations or custom resources, and take the backup of etcd data as well. Now, after taking the backup, now let's proceed to the step number 2, that is update the Kubeadm, kubelet and kubectl. So these are the components of the Kubernetes and these need to be upgraded first to the latest version or the version for which we want to upgrade our clusters. So as you can see here, that ensure that you have the latest version of Kubeadm, kubelet and kubectl, and this need to be installed on all the nodes in your clusters, and can download the latest binary of this Kubeadm, kubelet and kubectl from the Kubernetes release space, or we can use the package manager of our running OS on the nodes. So this is the link for the cluster upgrade which you are going to follow from the Kubernetes official documentations. After following the step number 2, we have to drain and cordon the node. Drain and cordon all the worker node, it means that it evicted all the running pod from that particular node which is going to be upgraded or which is the part of our first cluster upgrade activity. So it would mark that particular node as scheduling disabled. It means that none other pod is going to be scheduled on that particular node which is being the part of cluster upgrade activity. So the same thing is mentioned over here. Drain and cordon all the worker nodes to evict all the running pods and prevent new pods from being scheduled onto them during an upgrade process. So this ensures no disruptions occur to your workload during the upgrade. So how we can achieve that? We have to run the command with the help of kubectl utility, kubectl drain and the node name and hyphen ignore daemon sets. So as of now, during the draining of the node, we are going to ignore the daemon set which is running as a pod or a deployment on each of the node in our Kubernetes cluster. And for cordoning the nodes, what we have to do, kubectl cordon and the node name. It ensures that our node is get cordoned and mark that node as a scheduling disabled. Now let's proceed to our step number 4. In step number 4, we are going to upgrade the control plane node. So in updating the control plane node, we have to make sure that Kubeadm, kubelet and the kubectl is already upgraded to the version for which we wanted to upgrade our control plane. So adding those components, what we have to command which need to run Kubeadm upgrade apply and the version on which we want our Kubernetes cluster to be upgraded. So as of now in our lab, we are going to upgrade to version 1.31.1. So, but here I have taken the snap from the previous one or the current version. So Kubeadm upgrade apply version 1.30.0. So as you can see here, I have mentioned already that upgrade the control plane component, that is API server, control manager and scheduler one at a time. And you can use the Kubeadm tool to upgrade the control plane node. So we are going to use the Kubeadm utility to do the upgrade. After upgrading our control plane node, what we have to do, we need to do the restart of the daemon reload and the kubelet. After restarting the kubelet only, we can see the version for the upgraded one. Just like as what we have to do, get nodes, we will see that our control plane width is get upgraded to the version for which we have mentioned here in this command, Kubeadm upgrade. After upgrade of the control plane node, we have to follow the same steps on the all the worker nodes in our Kubernetes cluster. So suppose if we have one master and one worker node, we have to do this command for twice. We have to follow this process for twice. But if we have a multiple master and multiple worker nodes, so we have to follow this for all. Production and live environment, we have an Ansible playbook which is going to upgrade and do these patches on regular basis to our node. The step number 6 is mentioned over here, upgrade the cluster configuration. It's an optional. If you wanted to have a update your cluster configuration in /etc/Kubernetes, then you can follow these steps to make a backup of a cluster configuration into that particular directory. And sure that the most important steps that you have to make your nodes to be uncordoned. It means that to make your node to be available and in ready state to the pod to be scheduled. So how we can do that? With the help of uncordon command, kubectl uncordon and the node name. After running this command, automatically our node is going to be ready, and scheduling disable, which was showing earlier with the help of train and cordoning the node, is going to be marked as available. So how we can do that? After upgrading the control plane and the worker nodes, uncordon the worker nodes to allow pod to be scheduled onto them again. So after that cluster upgrade activity, if someone want to deploy any pod or application to your Kubernetes cluster, they can do so. There would be no any issues and errors. So we can verify the cluster health with the help of kubectl get nodes, and we can see all the pods as well. Kubectl get pods -- all and hyphen namespaces. So this is the information about that what are the steps involved during the Kubernetes cluster upgrade activity. Now let's proceed and do some hands-on and try to upgrade our Kubernetes cluster with the help of Kubeadm. You can see I'm running one master and one worker node in GCP virtual machine and make them as a Kubernetes cluster. If you wanted to follow the same and make it your end, I've placed the link of that particular video in the description of this video. So now what we have to do, we need to do the SSH to the master node. So Cloud Shell editor, I just pasted this command. So it will authorize to have a SSH connection with my master node. So I'm already logged in. Let me increase the font size. So as of now, let me show you the current version for my master node, get nodes. So as we have seen that we are in currently version 1.30.0. So we are going to do the upgrade. We can see here both master and worker are the running with version 1.30.0, and we are going, let's see that available versions for our Kubeadm. So this is the command which we have to run to see the available version for our Kubeadm. So as we can see here in our current binary packages which is being installed on my master node, so these versions I can do the installation. So as we can see here, currently the version which is installed, and we can see here 1.30.0, this is installed, but we are going to do the upgrade to this one, 1.30.1. So what are the same steps which we have discussed earlier for Kubernetes cluster upgrade? So the first step which we have to follow, that is take the backup of our data. So as of now, my Kubernetes cluster doesn't have any pods or any resources. So there is no need to take the backup of your data. So the pods which you have seen, those are from the master component. So these are the some testing pods which I have created for my last video for Kubernetes services explanation. So we can ignore them for now, it's not an issue. So backup, after taking the backup of your data, we need to install Kubeadm, kubectl and kubelet to the required version. So as we have already seen that the version on which we wanted our Kubeadm or cluster to be upgraded, that is 1.30.1 apt cache medicine, and we need to mention Kubeadm. So as we can see here, we need to upgrade to this version. So how we can do that? We need to do this with the help of command. We need to run this command sudo apt-get update. It will update the libraries, and we need to install the Kubeadm with this version, and we are going to hold the Kubeadm for now. So let's see, now it's running and installing. So our version has been installed. Kubeadm is the newest version. Now let's verify Kubeadm version. So latest version of Kubeadm has been installed on our master node. So now let's try to install the kubectl and the kubelet on our master node. So this is the command which we have to run to install kubelet and kubectl on our master node. And the same steps we have to follow on worker node as well, as we have already discussed the instruction which we are following as of now to do on our master node. The same steps we have to follow for cluster upgrade on worker node as well. So now let's install the kubectl and kubelet. Unpacking, kubectl and kubelet has been installed. Now what we have to do, now we have to upgrade our cluster. Before we upgrade, we need to drain our nodes. So get nodes. For draining the node, drain and the node name. I'm doing this first for the master. That's why I just selected the master node, and hyphen ignore. We are ignoring daemon sets for now. Daemon sets. Okay, so now my master node has been drained out. Let's verify and do the cordon again. Cordon, and this is the master node. It's already cordon. We are running the command cordon node to verify that our node is already cordon or not. Let's clear the screen. Get nodes. You can see here the status of our master node is showing as scheduling disabled. So now we are good. Our nades has been drained and cordon. Now let's proceed to do Kubeadm apply command. Sudo Kubeadm upgrade apply version. We are going to upgrade our control plane with the help of Kubeadm command. So before we directly apply, let's try to see the plan for it. Sudo Kubeadm upgrade plan. So it will show you the latest version which is available, so that we can upgrade to that particular version. So as we can see here, this is the current version 1.30.0 and this is the target version 1.30.1. Why it's showing? Because we have already upgraded our Kubeadm, kubelet and kubectl. So let's try and Kubeadm, sudo Kubeadm upgrade. Let's update our control plane to the required version. So sudo Kubeadm upgrade apply version 1.30.1. So now it's going to upgrade our control plane node. Now wait for some minutes. It's asking to proceed further, Y or no. I just set it as Y. So let's proceed further. Now as you can see here, our new manifest file has been moved and it has already taken the backup for the old manifest file. So as it shows that it can take up to 5 minutes, but it will not. Let's see. As we can see here, our control plane has been upgraded. We got this message and it's asking us to upgrade our kubelet if we haven't done it earlier. As we haven't already done it, now let's see the status of the control plane node. Seeing the status, it's still showing the older version, because as per our instruction or steps which need to be followed for cluster upgrade activity, we haven't restart the kubelet, because kubelet restart is required to update this version. So what we have control plane upgrade activity. Now let's try to see the versions of our master node. So as we can see here, still it's showing as version 1.30.0. So it seems that we haven't started our kubelet, that's why it's showing 1.30.0. So now let's try to restart that. So sudo systemctl restart kubelet. Okay, it's showing unknown command verb restart. Okay, there was a spelling mistake. So what we have to do, restart. Okay, now it's correct. So kubelet has been restarted. Now again try to see the version of master node. As we can see here, after the restart itself, our versions has been upgraded from version 1.30.0 to 1.30.1. So now we can sure and now we can say that our control plane has been upgraded to the latest version or to the new version which is being provided by the Kubernetes. So what we have to do now, we have to uncordon the node. Now for doing the uncordon the node, the command which we have to run k uncordon. Why I'm using k? Because I have set my alias from for kubectl to work as a k. So k uncordon and the node name. So after running this command, we can see that our node is being uncordoned. Let me try to see the node status now. So now our node status is showing as ready. The same steps we have to follow on worker node as well. So as of now, I'm running my Kubernetes cluster in GCP VM. So let me open a new tab and do an SSH to my worker node. Okay, I just did the SSH to my worker node, waiting to get my terminal back. Okay, now I got my terminal. The command which we have to run first, the same steps we have to follow. The first step, take the backup. Taking the backup, that is the cluster level upgrade activity. The step which we have to do on worker node, that is install Kubeadm, kubelet and kubectl. So for that step, what we have to do, just run the same command which we have run already on our master node. So I just run the same command to upgrade our Kubeadm first. So Kubeadm has been upgraded. Now we do the upgrade for kubelet and kubectl. So the same command which I have run on master node, I run the same on worker node as well. Now I'm waiting for terminal to be back to see the kubelet and kubectl has been upgraded. Now let's try to see Kubeadm version. Okay, Kubeadm version has been upgraded. So now what we have to do after upgrading the kubelet, Kubeadm and the kubectl on our worker node, we have to first drain the worker node. So for draining the worker node, we cannot run the command kubectl on worker node. We have to go to the master node and run the command k get nodes. So k drain and the node hyphen hyphen ignore, and we have to run daemon sets. Okay, now it will going to be drain our node, and to verify it, what we have to do, we have to run this command k cordon and the node name k cordon, and this is our worker node. It's showing as already cordon. Let's verify it. K get nodes. As we can see here, the status of our worker node is showing as ready, but scheduling is disabled on that node. So if someone is trying to schedule a pod on that particular node, it is not going to be. It's showing the pod status will be shown as a pending state because none of the node is available to be ready to be scheduled on that particular node. So what we have to do now, we have already upgraded. So the same command which we have run, control plane component has been already upgraded. Now we have to ensure that you are running a command on which node. So I have to run this command on my worker node sudo systemctl restart kubelet. So now my kubelet has been restarted on my worker node. So ideally my worker node is also being upgraded to version 1.30.1. Now let's try to see kget nodes. As we can see here, my master and worker both has been upgraded to 1.30.1. So in this video, we have seen thoroughly the steps involved doing the Kubernetes cluster upgrade with the help of Kubeadm, and we have done the hands-on lab as well. So to do this upgrade from version 1.30.0 to version 1.30.1 with this version shared by Kubernetes. Thank you for following till the last. Please feel free to comment over this video if you encountered any issues or error during the cluster upgrade at your end with the help of Kubeadm. Thank you for watching. See you in next video.
Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.